Good. All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Is this loud enough? Can you all hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we were playing with some audio things earlier this morning. I want to make sure we're in good shape. Well, welcome everyone to our October Town Hall meeting. It's so nice to see so many of you. We've got some beautiful weather out there today. It's going to get a little warmer tomorrow and a little warmer the day after that. And pretty soon we'll forget it's the end of October, so it's going to feel like June again. So, but Halloween is coming. Okay, so don't all of you wear your costumes at once, okay? But wait for Halloween when we've got some fun stuff planned. So you shall see what we've got just around the corner. So with that, we do have another fun-filled and information-packed meeting today. So we are going to get the show on the road. And we will start with Debbie Shapiro, our administrator and assistant executive director, and she's going to give us a little update on Village Point. Warm welcome for Debbie, please.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone this morning? Okay, so we'll start with, there we go. Our average census for September was 101. We're very, very busy at Village Point. Our subacute is really picking up. We're almost full. We have a lot of inquiries, a lot of prospective admissions. Our current neighborhoods, Aspen is 28. We should be full today. Evergreen 27, Sandalwood 24, and Willow, our memory care, is 27. So Village Point, our infectious disease report. We don't have any COVID, thank God, all clear. No infections going on. We participated in some voluntary surveys, ICAR, iPro. We've actually had 2 ICAR surveys, Infection Control Assessment and Response Team. They came in for a day. They watched our processes, went over our policies and procedures, gave us a lot of educational tools that we can work with to make sure that we're following up on our infectious disease program. We had our flu clinic, our COVID clinic, which you had here, and we're proud to say that 90% of our residents in long-term are vaccinated for the flu. COVID, I don't know the percentage right now, and we're working on our employees, and hopefully we'll get more employees to get the flu vaccine. And let's see, I'll go back. Dr. Bala, we meet with Dr. Bala once a month. He's our infectious disease consultant. He reviews all of our infections that are going on for the month. He also does come into the building and see our residents. So that's very helpful to have an expert on our team. And did I miss the other one?
You decided to click through.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's all right.
Let's see.
There you go.
Okay. Halloween, as Jay said, is about to arrive soon. We're going to have trick or treat with our employees' children coming in. We just announced today that we're going to have a pumpkin carving contest and the residents can judge. And we're going to have a parade for our employees and residents and prizes and a lot of fun stuff going on that day. Thank you.
All right, before you go, I have a quick question, Debbie. All right, so Debbie has one little granddaughter who is 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what is she going to be for Halloween?
So this year's something different.
All right, what do you got?
Usually it's Elsa from Frozen.
Okay.
That's what she was last year. Then this year she wanted to be the other Elsa, whatever that is.
The other Elsa.
But my daughter talked her into being a witch.
She's going to be a witch instead.
That's
Okay.
really cute.
All right, so we want pictures next
Yes,
month of your little granddaughter as
We got a preview.
the
It's a
witch
really,
for Halloween.
yes.
All right,
All
very
right,
good.
See you later.
Thank you. All right, so I told Nathan not to come in costume. He might be in costume, depends on what you think of his green jacket. I think it's kind of cool, I gotta be honest. So please welcome Nathan Perez, our Regional Director of Sales and Marketing.
Hi everybody, how are you? I only did the jacket and 2, I couldn't do the pants. I didn't want to look like it. Okay, so we'll start with our roll-up for year-to-date production, goal versus results. We have at this point a goal of 45 sales. For the year, we have 34 in. And then in terms of closings or move-ins, we have a goal of 37 and we have 25 in. So we do have, as many of you that have been with us the whole year, we've been a little bit behind, but we are catching up, those of you that have been keeping score all year. We've seen an increased a level of sales activity. We have had 16 sales in the past 3 months versus 8 sales in the first 6 months of 2024. So I do feel like we have solidified a true turn around from where we were in the beginning of the year. We are seeing lead production continue to be strong, but more importantly, we're seeing people close with us and move through the process with us again. I think it's a lot of different reasons why. We've had a lot of internal discussions, some external look at the community. We are going to continue to address some first impression items. I think we've done a lot of really great things over the past 2 months, 3 months. The community is transforming. I can't wait for the front entrance to open so we can continue to bring people in there and show off the nicer look up front. We also have that temporary support plan in place. Those of you that have met Elise Hoog, she is our sales counselor from Stonebridge at Montgomery. Stonebridge is my third community in the region. We have a wait list status, so full occupancy there, some excess capacity. So Elise has some free time, so we brought her over to Monroe to help kind of jumpstart and kickstart and help close some folks. She has had 1 sale so far, which is one of our bigger units called a Cranberry. So 1 sale so far, and she's working with some more people. So that is working as far as I'm concerned. We do have targeted incentives in place, so if you have anybody that is a friend of yours, a family member of yours thinking about moving to the community or buying into the community, either before the end of the year or the beginning of next year, let them reach out to us because we have some good value there in the incentives that will help people move in over the next 6 months. And then we have our great testimonial project that I have mentioned for a few months now. That is completed. I will be taking that off this slide. Results are starting to kind of trickle in. I see a lot of faces in the room right now that are smiling because you were a part of it. Thank you so much. I am excited to see what those pieces look like. I've seen 2 little snippets of a photo and a quote insert in direct mail pieces. So as those get produced, I'll share them with everybody. And I'll probably have that on one of our next presentations to show you some of the great images that we're going to be using going forward. Anticipated move-in activity. As I mentioned, we've got a lot of sales that have come in recently. Just want to show you where people are going to be moving in. So our pipeline for move-ins or closings in October, we have 6 closings scheduled. 1 already closed with us, so 5 more. We have 5 closings scheduled in November and 4 in December already. We have 3 in January. I think 1's going to shake out a little more later in the quarter. But as you can see, we're already starting to build pipeline and move-ins into next year. We've got a few more weeks left where we'll be selling people to close in December. I want to beef that up a little bit more. But for all intents and purposes, we have really rebounded. We're going to kind of flatten out in census this year in IL, but we have rebounded from where we were in the beginning of the year. So we haven't slumped this year. We haven't decreased our census this year, at least based on the projections we're looking at. So looking to build census next year. How you can help? Everyone's part of the welcoming committee and our welcoming process, if you will. So please just always give us those free testimonials, I call it, whenever you're seeing us tour people through. Any sort of positive feedback that you can provide is always welcome. And certainly refer your friends or family to us. Bring us their name, some sort of contact information, whether it's an email or phone number. If they end up moving into Monroe Village, then we will pay a full monthly service fee to you as a gift. If you say to us, I'm not really in it for the money, good for you. But if you're not in it for the money and you say, hey, I'd really rather that go towards my friend or family member, maybe they need it more, you can certainly defer that cost over to them. We can help them with their moving costs with that. So help them get into the community in a little bit more sane state of mind by helping them defray some of their moving costs and that moving support that everybody needs moving in. So that's another option there. And of course, you can always leave a great referral, recommendation, testimonial online. You're never going to hear me stop saying this because that is where everybody is finding us right now. The more positive feedback we put online, whether that is on Facebook or on Google, the more positive stories that are going to be out there, does 2 things for us. 1, it pushes down any potential negative, right? If I'm looking at a product to purchase, a community to move into, if I've got 20 great positive reviews that are solid and real from residents like yourself versus 1 or 2 that are kind of like a little shaky, you know, maybe there was one service issue there, but we could have rebounded on it. I'm going to take that into account and weigh that out differently. 2, on the back end of things, the way Google works, the more positive reviews we have, the higher up on the search engine optimization we will be. So when someone's typing in retirement community in Monroe, the more positive feedback that's out there on the internet, the more people will see us in that #1 slot and click on our links first. So it really does help all around. If you don't know how to leave a review, if you're confused about what the mechanics are like, or can you do that with your smartphone, or what device works for that, just see Eugene Barisano, who's our marketing or sales coordinator in the sales office up front here. He'll help walk you through the fundamentals of how to just do that, okay? Maybe like 10-15 minutes he can walk you through that. He helps folks with things like that all the time. And then finally, if you feel very self-sufficient, you can do that on your own. You're gonna see these codes. They are called QR codes. You're probably seeing them popping up everywhere. I go to restaurants now and they have these instead of menus. So you just take a picture of it, your cell phone brings up the menu, and you just totally contactless. But the purpose of these is for you to aim a camera through your smartphone or smart device at them, and it will pick up the valid URL or link to bring you to those recommendation pages. So if you feel self-sufficient, you'll see these, pick up a flyer at the front desk, near the front desk in the mailroom, or just scan these whenever you see the presentation airing. And it'll bring you to those valid links. And then finally, the fun part, I want to welcome to the family some folks that moved in since our last presentation. I think one of these is a repeat, so I apologize for that. But I want to welcome to the family 3 couples that have joined us recently. That is Estelle and Edward Saunders, Marcia and Louis Lipset, and Barbara and Edward Feiderman. Thank you so much for joining the family. And thank you all for welcoming them and your continued support. Take care.
Thank you, Nathan. It is definitely going to be a very busy end of the year with all of those new folks joining us as members of the Monroe Village family. I'm really looking forward to doing that, and I know all of you are as well, welcoming these new folks to our wonderful, wonderful community. So, speaking of Halloween costumes, we got a sneak preview of Steve's, if you all saw in some of the pictures. Are we doing the 1920s bather as your Halloween costume with the kids, Steve? Possible. All right, well, you didn't wear it today, so we'll let you go. But I know you've got a lot to share with all of the programs and events and fun stuff we've got going on. It's hard to believe, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but the countdown clock is on for a very special event that Steve's going to talk about. So with that, please welcome Steve Ween.
I was trying to underdress this time, full outfit, but yeah, maybe next Thirsty Thursday. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So again, welcome. Good morning, everyone. We got a lot to go on. So actually, I also want to make an announcement. We had to reschedule our cooking demonstration. That is actually this afternoon, and we do have some seats open. So if you like risotto, Chef James will be doing a risotto special at 12:15 right behind us. So also October 18th, we have On Stage featuring Harry Belafonte. I said that right? I do know who that is. At 1:15 in the auditorium. We also are pleased to have Dan Fernand. He is, this will be his first performance at Monroe Village. We actually worked with our sister community. He did a nice performance, and we figured, let's try him here. So please, like I always usually get a few phone calls after Saturday night. I will listen to them, and we'll work with Dan to see any future performances. Also, I'd like to make an announcement that Saturday, October 26th, thanks to our, she usually does sing-alongs, Terry. She, we worked with her many times, still continuing, but she also does line dancing. So we will actually have a line dance party at 11:45 in the auditorium. please come out, even if you want to just tap your shoes sitting down, more than welcome. We're seeing what's the interest level, so we would like to the feedback, engagement, because we do have a plan for 2025, but a lot goes into Saturday, again, October 26th. So please come out. I like the feedback, and I will also be talking to Terry. Wednesday, October 30th, our matinee with Jay Daniels at 2 o'clock. All right, so Halloween is Thursday. We do have a entertainment. She'll do, Barbara, she'll be doing a, like Halloween. She sings. She's done a couple performances here before. It is Halloween. If you don't know, I have 3 small children. I'm actually volunteering my time to help the school have a nice party for the 1st grade class. That's you, Eva.
And what is Eva gonna be?
We don't know yet.
Oh, we're not allowed to say. Okay.
That's mom's department.
Gotcha.
I'll share pictures and how that will go. Saturday, November 2nd, Jessica Edwards. She's a female singer. She's been here before. 7:15 in the auditorium. Friday, November 8th, again, Chef for Seniors. 12:15 Club Room. We're excited again to continuing to work with Chef James. Monday for afternoon of Veterans Day, November 11th. Gordon James will be doing a performance at 2 o'clock. He sings and he has he plays like the trumpet. He's been here throughout my time here too. Saturday, November 16th. Some of the feedback I get is that she's probably the best piano. So Olga will be coming back. I know some people really enjoy her show. That is November 16th. Wednesday, November 27th. Again, a matinee with Jay Daniels at 2 o'clock. Saturday, November 30th, Central Brass will be coming back. It's about 4 to 5 members that play brass instruments. That is after Thanksgiving, so probably more be a holiday show. Saturday, December 7th, Barbara will be back. She'll be doing more of a holiday show at 7:15. You see how long we're going? December. And there's more. Now we did change the date just because of, as many people I know have been here, we have people living here 14 years, 2 years. December is a very popular, busy month, obviously, with all the holidays we have. So Monday, December 9th, will be Chef for Seniors at 1:30 in the club room. Trying to squeeze them in, one more time before the year. Thursday, December 12th, I'm going to write this down. It's in the newsletter as well. That will be the holiday celebration. Obviously, that is where we have our big dining nights, and we'll have the live band up here at 7. We've been doing this for years, and that's also through the foundation. So we're looking forward to continuing that tradition. Saturday, December 14th, Jenny Lee Stern. She should be back. I do need to just make sure, because I think I mentioned that I haven't, at this time, in this moment, I know she's doing some Broadway stuff, so I just need to make sure she is coming. But we'll have a show, no matter who it is, on December 14th. Monday, December 16th, Gordon James, another afternoon performance, and I can breathe, okay? So I also want to mention, obviously, the importance of Veterans Day, scheduled for Monday, November 11th. We will be having the program at 10 a.m. Everyone is more than welcome to come. We like to celebrate our veterans. I've talked to Bernie. I have got some interest, obviously, because we have been doing this for some time now, so that's great. But in case people just need some, reminders, we do currently, by the Livewell Hub, have a list of our veterans. I'm not perfect, so please check that your name is on that list. I would hate to miss anyone, obviously, so that list has been out for a while, but using my platform, I'm letting people know, and on YouTube, to please check that you're on the list. Again, if you wish to be part of the program, please call me at 6477, and additional information will be posted on channel 1979. Okay, so guess what? 74 days away to New Year's Eve. There's a reason why I'm talking about this, okay? I don't want to take Jay's thunder, but I think the town hall meeting December would be a little bit different. So I like to be transparent, like to let everyone know we are organized. We do have a plan. New Year's Eve, so December 17th, we will be making our in-person reservations. That is a Tuesday. 1:30, parties of 8 or 9. The max of chairs at a table. They are round, okay? Just like we did last year, it worked, so we're trying that again. And the progression was we did that for like an hour, so then we're gonna have at 2:30 parties of 7 or less, okay? As you know, we have to work with the building code, okay? So there is safety always on our minds, but I'd like to thank everyone for the past and also what we're gonna do on December 17th again, here, live in the auditorium. It will be on the monthly calendar. You will see it, you will notice it. But obviously it's after the holiday party and 2 weeks before New Year's Eve. So I think we, again, pretty planned. I know some of our Livewell team, including myself, met with Morrison to talk about the food experience. Is Rita here? We're gonna have mustard on the tables, don't worry. Okay. Inside joke. And then also for that day on December 17th, please designate a table captain to come make your reservation. So that's just one responsible person to really have the names ready to go, so we get everything organized, okay? So again, thank you. And also please note that all walkers must be labeled before the party, and scooters will not be permitted inside the auditorium. Obviously, we will help get you to your table, but just because of space, like I said, safety, I will probably move the scooter out of the room, okay? So if you have any questions, I'm still here, right? I'm still here?
You're still here.
And again, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Steve. And I just want to highlight, the planning that goes into events like this is really pretty complex. It may not feel that way, but we actually started talking about the holiday season and New Year's, right after Labor Day, I'm going to guess. So, to plan for all of the fun events that we have throughout the month of December and into January. And both the dining team and the resident services team with Livewell do a tremendous job in planning it and putting it all together, and we ask that you follow the directions that have been given with respect to signups and things like that. It really does make all of it go much easier on the front end so that we all can have a wonderful time at these various events. So we look forward to a fun-filled holiday season just around the corner. God, 2025 is 74 days away.
Yes.
It's insane. It's insane. Speaking of somebody who talks about insanity on a regular basis, it's an inside joke from this morning. So anyway, if you want, I'll explain it to you later. I'd like to present next our Director of Resident Services, Gina DePiro, who thankfully is not in a paisley dress. So here's Gina.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see so many people here today. And as both Steve and Jay said, it really is for the safety of everyone to try to, it's exciting, I know it's exciting, and everybody wants a table, and everybody wants to be part of the New Year's Eve celebration, and everybody will. But please only send your table captain, because it just flows so much better. They come, they have their little list of everybody who's gonna be on their table, we fill it up, the papers all out with them, we help them if they need it, and it just is such a smooth go. When we have table captains and this one and that one, it becomes very confused because sometimes people are signing up at 2 or 3 tables, not realizing the captain already took care of it earlier, and it becomes very confusing, and then somebody might be told they can't come, or they're on the wait list, when there's really no reason. So just a little FYI, please, a table captain. Okay. So, I'm so excited about this. Our Veterans Coffee and Chat is back. We had a little complication with the people who sponsored it, and so we kind of put it on hold for a while. We're bringing it back, and it'll be on November 18th at 3:15 here in the auditorium. It's a time to relax and have, maybe a donut and coffee, chit chat a little bit, but then it will also be a time to listen about a topic that relates to veterans. And the very first one, Bernie and I actually spoke on this earlier this week. The first one that we're having on November 18th is going to be talking about a service that's available for free to veterans who are signed up with the VA. So it's a very important session. If you are a veteran, please put this on your calendar and plan to attend. There is light refreshments will be served. There is a sign up just so that they have an idea of how many people are coming. There is a sign up at the front desk with Diane. She has a sheet ready to go. And the company that will be doing the topics each month, their name is Synergy Home Care, and they are an approved agency for home health services by the VA. So we're hoping that this becomes a really nice relationship. Do you like to read? Even if you don't like to read, please go down to the first floor and see the changes that have been made in the library. The library looks so beautiful. It got a cute refresh thanks to, where is he?
He ran away.
Thanks to Nathan. He surprised us with some goodies to give it a new facelift. Monroe Township Library visits us the second Tuesday of each month at 10:30, and their volunteers visit here and bring over 50 books and audiobooks to both independent living and assisted living residents. So if you're interested, please stop by. They can get you set up, and they'll start bringing you books. They can bring you books as well. And they have a whole system. You give back, they take them, they bring yours. And it's a new designated location for the book delivery. When we had COVID and everybody was doing pickup service, or we were doing actually delivery service for dinner, we had set up a table that was at that wall right in front of the library. And somehow that table became the library's drop-off point. So now we have it, so cute. So now we have these pictures, and you can see they have two places now where they can stack the books. So it looks very pretty. It's a pretty presentation, and they kind of keep the sections going. It's just really nice. So if you have an opportunity, go see it and enjoy. We had Live Well Day, and I want to thank all of you who came. It was really nice. Thank you so much. Many residents signed up for the gym assessments, transportation opportunities, and it was really great because we had Maria here who, although I have two drivers and they're interchangeable, Maria does the bulk of the trips. And so to hear feedback directly from you on the trips that she offers was so helpful. And a couple of people had some ideas for some trips, and she's looking into it. So it was a great time to do that. People inquired about clubs. We had rehab here that day, so there were rehab evaluations. And Aviva and Reverend Jenny were here, so there was also time to chat with our spiritual team and see their insights for the future. What's really exciting is think I said 18 people signed up.
I think it was 18.
People signed up for a travel club. We've never had anything like this before. So we're really, really excited. They are just in the beginnings of this. This is something that a couple of other of our sister communities do. It's new to us and new to a couple of other communities. So this is just the beginning stages, but they signed up for interest, and we're very excited to see where it goes.
Well, they're going to travel. That's where they're going.
Yeah, well, we'll
Where are
see
they
where
gonna
they
go?
travel. I don't know. The health committee approached me to do another dementia program, so I will be doing one on December 4th at 3 o'clock here in the auditorium. I'll be speaking on the most common types of dementia that we see here in Monroe Village, and some updates on information regarding treatments and some helpful hints. The education sessions continue. I really love our resident health committee. They work so hard in making sure that you get a lot of programming and a lot of education. So I'm very excited to work with them on this. And that's all I have. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, and Halloween. Oh, sorry, forgot one thing. Not to be shown up by Village Point, who, if you've never been there during Halloween, it's like amazing. They do it's crazy what they do over there. But we are gonna have a pumpkin contest. So each department is Steve's like, what? Yeah, I haven't talked to you yet. Each department is gonna get a bunch of pumpkins, and we're gonna decorate them and bring them out to probably the clubhouse, and we'll have a resident panel, or we'll have a way for you to vote on the department with the best pumpkins. So, thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Let's see. What's our next stuff? Oh, our next stuff. All right. So this month, Stan is scheduled to present and provide you all with some updates from a maintenance and a facilities standpoint, but unfortunately he had a conflict this morning, a meeting that he needed to be at. So you're stuck with me sharing his information, but he did prepare a report and wanted to share a bunch of information with you. So with that, you may have noticed we've been a little busy outside. So some of the things that our maintenance team or our vendors have done over the last several months is we did a good deal of power washing outside. We also took care of what I call one of those joys of home ownership, the cleaning of the gutters. That's one that I really don't like doing, so that's why we paid somebody to do it here. But they cleaned out all the gutters, and you can imagine just how many gutters we have around here. While they were doing that, up on the roofs, on the gutters, they took care of any damaged soffits and attic vents that we have up on the 3rd floor of the buildings. And that was something that definitely needed to be done, because it had been a few years. We had some areas where we had some damage and some cracks that we wanted to take care of. We also had, in the landscape, we had dead trees removed. We had stumps ground to try to kind of take care of things that weren't doing so well anymore. And we'll do some planting that we've started over here at the Horseshoe parking lot. You probably noticed a little bit earlier in the year, we planted some cryptomeria, and now we have some, I think we did some Norway spruces that went in the last week or so. So we are continuing with our planting all around the campus bit by bit as time goes on. That will continue in the coming year as well. And then finally, the most recent thing we did, and I guess this was just last week, we resealed and restriped all of the resident parking lots. So a lot of updates, a lot of stuff going on outside that are really, really good things that we're excited about. So Stan wanted to also share with you a little update on his maintenance team. You may have seen some new faces lately, and we wanted to introduce you to all of them. So we've got the good-looking group that is the maintenance team. The first gentleman, we'll go left to right, is Robert. He is the newest member of our team. He's been here, I think, a few weeks, maybe up to a month at this point, and is a great guy and is going to do a lot of focus on ultimately public areas and painting and maintenance upkeep that way. And then the second fella is TJ, who has been with us for a while now. I'm sure many of you know TJ. He's a great guy, very personable, always eager to take care of whatever it may be in your apartment. And then the gentleman to his left, our right, is Chris. Chris has been with us, I guess, about 2 months, I'm going to say, give or take. Also a new addition to the team. Chris is very efficient, and I call him our work order guy, because he gets a kick, and I mean this in a positive way, in getting work orders and getting them done, if that makes sense. Some of us are motivated by getting things done, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys, so it's wonderful to have somebody like that as a part of our team and falling into that kind of a role. And then the other gentleman, the one on the end here, is John, and I'm sure you all know John as well. John's been with us for a few years at this point as another member of our maintenance team. So we are very, very excited to have a full complement and have some new team members and have added to the maintenance staff, because I think it's going to yield some really, really positive results for us in all sorts of ways. And what that really is part of that is Stan wanted to speak with you about his action plan in response to the resident engagement survey that was done earlier this year. You may remember that we did the Holleran Resident Engagement Survey. That was back in May, if I recall correctly, and we did a review of all of that at our June Town Hall meeting. And one of the areas that we identified as an area of opportunity was timeliness of maintenance response. So Stan has been working hard to see some improvements there, and it is and will continue to be a work in progress. But he did want to share with you where he stands and what he is working on. So the first thing, most importantly, as we saw in that last slide, is the addition of new team members. It's hard to get a lot done when you don't have enough people. So we've added to our maintenance team to deal with the increasing volume of work orders and maintenance requests. We've also established a goal for ourselves to return all phone messages to the maintenance team within 1 business day. Now remember, the maintenance team is out and about. They are not sitting at a telephone waiting for phone calls to come in. They are out addressing issues as they occur. So if you do call the maintenance department, you need to leave a message. And what I would also remind you of is, if you are calling with a work request, calling the maintenance office is not the best way to do that. Call the concierge. Dial 0 if you have a maintenance request. If you have a maintenance emergency, absolutely dial 0. And the reason I say that is because the concierge is at the desk, right? The phone will be answered. They can then direct the maintenance team to handle an emergency, but they also have the ability to input work requests for things that are not emergencies into our work order system. And the goal with the work orders is to be able to complete them within 3 business days of when you submit it. But if you submit it or call it in and you leave a message with the maintenance office, it could be a day before they get the message, which could then ultimately delay further the response. So if you have a work request, again, make the call to the concierge desk and they can put the submission into the system. And the goal again is 3 business days to complete what I would call typical or non-emergency work requests. Something like, maybe you have a light bulb out, but you have 4 other lights in your apartment that work. Maybe your faucet has a slight drip to it. Those things need to be addressed, but they're not emergencies. Emergencies, I have no heat, I have no air conditioning, I have no electricity in my entire apartment, my toilet is clogged, my sink is overflowing. Those sorts of things are emergencies, right? They're more, and we're going to prioritize those emergencies over what are regular, more typical maintenance requests. But again, the goal is for all of them to be completed within 3 business days. And we have tracking mechanisms in place to look at all of that and to be able to see if we are hitting our goals, or if not, what we need to do to improve. So that is Stan's report to all of you so that you know where things stand with the maintenance team and their goal in providing even better service to each and every one of you. So next up is our campus safety report. I'd like to introduce Mark Picorni, our Director of Campus Safety, and I'd like to thank Mark for being here today. Today is Mark's day off. Yeah, but he's here, so that tells you something, doesn't it? Welcome, my buddy Mark.
Good morning. Haven't been here in a while, so.
Let's hit the space bar.
Oh, space.
Space bar. There you go.
Alright, so as, they alluded to in Stan's, update, the resident parking lots have been resurfaced, striped, and renumbered. Please park in your assigned spot that matches the number on the back of your car. All resident parking spots are considered handicap now. We got rid of all the handicap spots. Some people had handicap placards and they had a different number, but it's still parking handicap, so those spots have been removed. And it basically comes on a urgency of who needs the spot more. Some people are in wheelchairs, some people are in scooters, but a lot of people in this community have trouble walking, so those lots are now considered all handicap lots. Phone off the hook reminders. Remember to hang up your phone when done talking on your cordless phone. It reads end or off. If you don't hang up, someone from campus safety may be knocking your door to make sure you're okay, even at 2 a.m. If you have fallen, you can knock your phone off the hook or just turn the talk button on and have campus safety respond. Our newest thing is campus safety checks. I think we've been doing for about 5 months now or so, 6 months. Safety checks are in coordination with the dining department. If they haven't seen you in the fireside restaurant or bistro during the day, campus safety will first call you to ensure you're okay. If you don't answer the phone, we will knock on your door. If you go away for the night, please call the concierge desk to let them know that you are going away, so we don't be knocking on your door if you're not home. Remember, this does not replace the emergency notification system as features in your apartment, like the pull cord in your bathroom or your no dials. Jay wanted me to remind you about fire alarm activation in your apartment. If you leave your apartment, be sure to close the door behind you to contain the fire smoke. Fire alarm panel at the concierge desk identifies exactly what apartment has the issue. If an actual fire, not just smoke, pull the fire alarm at the end of the hallway by the exit doors and to automatically notify the fire department. A fire alarm outside your apartment means another apartment or in the hallway itself. Make sure your apartment door is closed and stay in your apartment until told otherwise, unless the fire is in your apartment. Building is designed with sprinkler systems and firewalls to protect, defend, and in place. If necessary, the fire department will order evacuation when they arrive on scene. So it's up to the fire department. They're the ones in charge. Even if I'm on scene, the fire department is above me, so they will let you know if you have to leave your apartment. So with campus safety, we're here at the front desk and we have a guard on patrol. We're here to help. So 24 hours a day, you can call the front desk. You have a TV issue, no heat, strange noise, a knock at your door, a beeping smoke detector. Maintenance leaves at a certain time, and then housekeeping's helping out a little bit till they're done. Once housekeeping and other departments leave, then it's only security and nursing here. So just dial 0 for assistance 24 hours.
Thank you very much, Mark. And yeah, it's important to note about the fire, just remembering, because it feels a little counterintuitive. We often think we hear a fire alarm, we need to get out. And if the fire is in your apartment, you need to get out. But if the fire is not in your apartment, the safest place for you to be, believe it or not, is to stay in your apartment. And like I said, I know that feels counterintuitive, but as Mark said, The building is designed to protect you in your apartment with various concrete block and firewalls and sprinkler systems. The fire department, the Monroe Township Fire Department, are the ones who order evacuations and movement out of the building, and they will direct all of that if that needs to occur. So please try to remember that, and that's why people often ask, why don't we do fire drills? We don't do fire drills because what we're supposed to do is to stay in our apartment, because that is the safest place for you to be. So please try to remember that. If you have any individual questions, feel free to talk to Mark, feel free to talk to me. We'd be happy to show you the fire protection systems throughout the building and why it is such that unless the fire is in your apartment, the safest place to be is to stay there, okay? All right, I look at these pictures and I get hungry. And it's only 11:20 and I shouldn't be hungry. But the pineapple thing up there is looking pretty damn good. I don't know what to tell you. Because I like sweets. So, Matt, what are you gonna do to stop us from all being hungry? We're feeling hungry.
We'll have a hunger strike then.
He won't put us on a hunger strike. All right.
Yeah.
Please welcome Matt Smith, Director of Dining Services.
Thank you, Jay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. So some of the pictures that you see up there were taken from Foundation Day. So thank you everyone that partook in that. That was a wonderful event. I know everyone enjoyed it. And then the other one was the grilled chicken skewers that we had a couple Saturday nights ago that everyone enjoyed as well. Just touch base on what we did last month. We had the Teaching Kitchen with Marlon and Virginia. That was the first one in the series. There's a couple photos from that. I think we had about 30 residents partake in that, and I think we'll be doing more of those. And we're gonna actually, Gina and I talked this morning, and we're going to go hand in hand and do that also in assisted living. We'll pick maybe a Tuesday or a Thursday, since we do bars on lunch those days. Probably in the next couple months, probably the beginning of the new year, we'll be doing that as well. But have to figure out another time. I know Virginia's pretty busy right now since Village Point is in the survey window, so they're keeping ready and getting ready for the state to come in at any time. So she's kind of tied up right now with that. We also had a marketing wine and cheese event. Thank you for the current residents that partake in that, to welcome potential residents that may be moving in. Like I said, we did the Foundation Day with the photos that we had in the first slide. Then we did the volunteer luncheon. We just did desserts, but that was a wonderful event. Just thanking all the 70 plus residents that volunteer their time and throughout the community and all the different organizations that we have. And then we did a hot dog spectacular that coincided with Live Well's home run derby that was taking place outside by the fountain. We brought out the new fall winter menus on October 2nd down in Fireside. As I can see right now, I've heard and talked to a lot of residents throughout the night. It's been well received, so please keep the comments coming to me so we can make any changes. We're going into week 4 starting next on Sunday, so it'll be 1 full month that we've going to be going into that. So we're always here to make changes and make your dining experience better. We rolled out the new bistro menu on Monday, or sorry, Tuesday.
I might be off by a day.
Yeah, that's okay. I think it was Tuesday actually. We updated the style of menu. We changed some of the specials. So please give me feedback on that as well. Just talking hand in hand with feedback. Just give me as much feedback so we can make your dining experience the best that it can be, because that's what we're here to do. Honestly, we're here to eat, right? We're here to have fun. We're here to have conversation, meet up with your fellow residents every night through a delicious meal. I know last month we talked about staffing and the challenges. Well, we're not very challenged anymore. We brought 9 new servers throughout the 3 different dining venues between the restaurant, the bistro, and assisted living. We have the right pieces. We just need to plug them into the right puzzle, as I always like to say. And I think we've done a great job so far. I think a lot of the residents have welcomed the new servers with welcome arms and understanding. We continue to train them. I'm on another training session. Honestly, I just got on next Thursday. We have the Train the Training program. We had a field engagement person from Morrison come and conduct the initial one about 2-3 weeks ago. We had 20 kids show up for it. I'm not into competition. We had 20. She was there the day before at Meadow Lakes, and 7 kids showed up. So it shows that we can communicate very well with our staff and have them come in. We actually had 2 new residents actually sit on and were welcoming and open arms to see how the training, what we do as a community and also as an organization. Just some friendly reminders. I know that the online reservation system has become more and more successful and popular with the residents. So we've broadened the amount of times available, seats, and online reservations that we are taking. Because I know that a lot of residents came to me a couple days ago and said, Matt, I tried to make a reservation and everything is grayed out. And I looked and saw that, we have a quota, and we adjusted that quota because there's more looking to do the online reservations than we are doing with the phone line reservations. So we're trying our best, still be open if we have to make an accommodation or a suggestion at a different time, maybe 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. We're accommodating. As you can see, we had 9, probably about 8 really in Fireside, so we are expanding the sections again. So pretty much everyone is getting in on their preferred times. Just please arrive to your reservation on time. If you don't, it kind of slows down the seating process and the timeliness of service. We try to do our best to have everyone come in, but make sure your party's there all on time. It's just like a restaurant. If you have a party of 4 and only 2 are there, we're gonna wait for those other 2 unless we hear any otherwise last minute of cancellations. I know that things happen and you need to cancel last minute, but do your best to let us know so that we can pivot and rearrange the seating charts so we can accommodate more as well at your desired times. Just remember also, safety is first, and especially in Fireside with all the walking devices. Like I said, we've gotten better with staffing, so we're trying to have at least 2 hostesses there at every day so they can navigate the walkers back to you after you're done eating. But be patient at times. There may be still 1, and they may be working on something else or addressing another resident's needs. So just be patient for your walker if you need to leave the restaurant. This is just a slide about cancellations. Kind of talked about that already. To-goes. Please make sure that if you needed to go, please communicate to my staff by 2:30 so that we can provide you with the to-go. I know that sometimes, like I said, there may be a doctor's appointment where it may be running later than you expected. We understand. Give us a call if you need to cancel or make a to-go order. We're still holding kitchen tours. I know that the popularity has kind of declined a little bit. So we may pivot in the next couple months, maybe once a month. But we are still holding them. Please check in with Diane or anybody that's working at the concierge desk. We're doing them on the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m. Like I said, it was popular. It's kind of declined a little bit. I know there's a couple residents that have wanted to take them and we've had to reschedule or they've rescheduled, so it's still available. Just to finally remember, a reminder, 6432 is to order or make a reservation of parties or 5 or more in the bistro. That's the only time we make reservations, 5 residents or more. Okay, 6433 is to place a to-go order or make your reservation in Fireside. 6485 is the menu line. I know that a lot of residents take advantage of that between that and the touchdown. to see and compare what specials we have in both dining venues so that you guys can make your reservation or make your choice on either the bistro or the restaurant that night. And give me a call, 6424. I'm better at email with timely responses to email versus voicemail messages. And that's all I have. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy Halloween. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, dining is a challenge no matter where you go. I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day who I used to work with when he and I were both at Stonebridge at Montgomery. And he currently runs a community in Richmond, Virginia. So not exactly in our market, right? And we were talking about things, and he said, what are you doing about dining? Ours is a mess. I said, well, I wouldn't qualify or classify ours as a mess. I would say it's, always a work in progress. But it was interesting to hear that, here my friend Tom is, 300 miles south of us in Richmond, Virginia, and they're facing the same sort of challenges in their dining program, running a community like ours. It's hard. It's hard out there in dining in a lot of different ways, with staffing, with supply, with all sorts of things. So, we're not perfect, but having 9 new staff members, I know it's been great. Matt's work and effort with Tyra and Marlon on doing the training with that new staff, all of the patience that all of you have shown with those new staff members, getting them acclimated. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Is every night perfect? No. But then again, Kim and I went out to dinner last night, and I'll tell you that wasn't perfect either. So, and it wasn't because of the company, trust me. If it was, I wouldn't tell you. No. Anyway, all right, we are coming down the home stretch. A few more updates that I think are important for everybody to know. First off, wanted to share where we are with our various projects that we haven't already touched on, as far as construction and whatnot. The front entrance, the porte cochere, it's almost complete. We anticipate that we should be able to reopen by October 25th. So by the end of next week, we anticipate being able to reopen. Isn't that great? So we're pretty much right on schedule with what we had anticipated. We've had to rearrange a little bit of the project based on some availability of materials and a few other delays, and we did some other things out of order. So if we reopen by the 25th, I want you all to understand there may be a day or two where we may need to shut down or restrict access at the front door for some final touches that might need to be done. We also will need to, at some point in that first week of November, most likely, close the other side of the horseshoe, because if you remember, we did the concrete work and the sidewalks on the one side, but we've yet to do it on the other side. So that may, there may be some intermittent things we'll need to do, but getting us reopened by the end of next week is something we're really striving to get done and bring us back to some semblance of normalcy there. And we're really, really pleased with the work that's been done thus far, the way things are going to look. I think it's just great. The hallways. We are nearing the completion of the hallway painting project. We are into the F wing. I believe that is the 3rd floor of the F wing is the last area yet to be painted in the hallways. And Chet was checking that out this morning, and we are there. So I would say some point in the next week or so, we should pretty much be done with that entire hallway painting project. And that really has been a big just visual improvement. It's kind of funny what a coat of paint can do, right? And a little bit of color, and I think the place looks great. I love the colors on the doors. I love, just a little bit of difference in each floor. Everything looks great, so I hope you're pleased with it as well. And, the little bit of inconvenience you may have experienced in your individual hallway while that work was being done, or at your individual apartment door, I hope you feel it was well worth it, because I certainly do. I think it's a nice, great refresh for all of our hallways. With new paint, usually after you do paint, then you say, what else looks to be done, right? So we're going to do some lighting work. You may or may not have ever noticed, but there are a bunch of sconces at each and every elevator lobby. So 3 floors, first floor, second floor, third floor, 6 wings, A, B, C, D, E, F. We are going to be replacing all of those sconces. If you want a sneak peek of what it's going to look like, head down to the F wing, past the pool table, and see the elevator there on the second floor of the F wing. There are the new lights have been installed there. We did that as a little bit of a trial. And it was actually done while I was away. So when I came back, I said, wow, how much brighter it looks. And it really does make a difference. So, did John say no?
No, it's just, hey, it's a little harsh on the
I know, I need to wear my sunglasses, but come wintertime, we're gonna like it. And we can dial it up and down a little bit if we need to, but we wanted to brighten up those areas. So we're excited about that. All of those will probably be installed. I think they're saying that some of them, there's over 100 fixtures altogether that need to be installed, so we have to have them delivered from our manufacturer in a couple of shipments because they just don't have 100 of them sitting on the shelf someplace. But I do think some will be in the next couple of weeks, and then we do expect to have it all done by the holiday season is the plan. And then the other thing to share is we've begun work on the new art studio. I know it's something we've talked a little bit about, not a whole lot recently, but we are developing a new art studio, and that will be on the first floor of the F wing. For those of you who have been here for several years, it is the area that used to be the thrift shop. We closed the thrift shop several years ago due to lack of interest, and we're looking for a way to redevelop that space and utilize it better for our residents. We identified a need for additional art space, additional creative space. So we are doing all of that, and I'm very, very excited about it. It will be a complement to the creative workshop. So we'll be able to have even more space to do art projects, other creative sorts of things, maybe a little bit of woodshop type of work. We're gonna see, but we're really excited about it. So when we have a little more to show and to share picture-wise, we will certainly do so, whether it's on the Touchtown on 1979 or with some pictures that we put up around the building. But the art studio is underway, and we're really, really excited about that and expect that to be done by the end of the year. So a serious topic for a minute that I want to talk about. We've had some questions and concerns lately about apartment security. And it's a shared responsibility for all of us. We need to make sure that we provide a safe environment for all of you and we keep your apartments secure. We also need to make sure that each person individually as a resident here does their part, not only to keep their individual apartment secure, but to keep our community secure as a whole. So a few reminders, a few facts and a few reminders. I wanted you to know that we internally recently conducted an audit to ensure that only authorized personnel hold master keys to your apartments. And why do we have master keys? In the event of an emergency, somebody needs to be able to get into your apartment. That could be a medical emergency, it could be a building emergency, it could be a variety of things, but not everyone should have that access. So we went through and conducted an audit to ensure that only the proper people had those sort of keys. And that is lined out by position description and by additional review. So in essence, you're really talking about your campus safety personnel, and you're talking about your maintenance personnel. There are a few other directors, myself being one of them, that have access to a maintenance or to a master key. And no line staff should have access to a master key. And that's for their protection as well as for yours. So we did some audits there to ensure that the right folks have the right access. It's also important for each of you as individuals to understand that you should not give an outside door key, meaning the door entry from the parking lots or anywhere else, or an apartment door key to your friends and family. You may think that that's convenient, you may think that that's easier for you or for them, but that actually presents a security risk for all of us. Because now we lose control over who has the ability to get in and out of our building and who has the ability to get in and out of an apartment. So please, please, please do not suggest to someone, oh, let's just go to Home Depot and get a copy of my key made. That is not a good idea. Okay, and that is why we do not give out extra copies of keys to family members. There was a time we did. That process stopped some time ago, but I want to be clear, people should not be choosing to make copies of the keys that have been issued to you for the outside doors or for your individual apartment. In that same way, it's really, really important that all visitors, everyone, come in through the main entrance and sign in at the concierge desk. When people have keys or when we let them in via a back door, we don't know who's in our building. And we may think again that it's convenient for us, or it's convenient for the person who's visiting us, or just they're safe, they're trustworthy. And you know what? 99 times out of 100 they are. Don't get me wrong. But again, for a secure environment, it's important that we know who is in the building at all times. And if we have folks coming in and out through access points that are not checked, we lose some of that control. And we don't necessarily know who's here in the event of an emergency, or in the event of something else going on that we need to investigate what occurred and who may have been in the neighborhood. Okay? And then finally, just a reminder to everyone, if you're not in your apartment, lock your door. Lock your door when you leave your apartment. It's really, really important for your own safety and well-being. You may think you don't need to, but it's important that you do. I do it at my house. I live in the middle of nowhere. But let me tell you something. Right now, the doors, nobody's home and the doors are locked. And the car in the driveway, the car's locked. It's just for safety. It's for your own well-being. So we all have a responsibility there. And I want you to know what we do to maintain your safety and what I'm asking all of you to do as individuals to maintain all of our safety as well. All right, I missed a bullet here, but we'll talk about the first one, then I'll mention the second one. So, 2025 budget presentation. It's coming Monday, November 25th. We are in the final stages of our budget process. We will be doing reviews with the Financial Advisory Committee and the Executive Committee. Those of you on the Financial Advisory Committee know we have a meeting next Friday, and those of you on the Executive Committee will be getting a note asking you to join us at that meeting next Friday, where we can do a final review of the budget and get that final piece of resident input before it goes through final approval. Once we have the final review and approval of the budget, we will be sharing it in a public forum, and that will be on Monday, November 25th at 1 p.m. here in the auditorium. And that budget meeting will take the place of the November town hall meeting. So there will be no town hall meeting in November. It will just be the budget meeting. Okay? And then the piece that I missed, that I forgot to put on my own slide, is we are going to need to flex, due to holiday parties and events, we need to flex the date of our December town hall meeting. And you'll see more information about this. So don't worry too much about it now, but that's why some of the presentations today were a little bit longer and shared information for a greater period of time. We would normally meet on the second Friday of the month, which would be December the 13th, would be the second Friday in December. That correlates to the same date that we will be having our employee holiday party, and that is the same date that we do the distribution of the Holiday Appreciation Fund that all of you in the Residents Association so generously fund and give to our team members. So we had a conflict there. We couldn't fit parties in different places due to other things we had going on. So we will be moving the town hall to the following Friday, which will be December the 20th at 10:30 a.m. And again, you'll see notification about that in advance, but I did just want to let you know about it. All right, next up is the Monroe mailbag. So I got a very nice note that I wanted to share with all of you. And I'll read it because the print's not too bad, but I'll read it to you anyway as we normally do. So this person wrote to me saying, I did want to comment on my experience with our new hire young man in the bistro. I believe in catching people doing something right. I agree with that. So this is about our friend Josh. I don't know how many of you know Josh in the bistro. So Josh has been warm and welcoming. What I find unique is that when confronted with something he does not know, he will always ask. He does not approach with an impatience or inconvenience, but rather with, this is good for me so that I can learn and know the next time. that's pretty admirable, I gotta be honest with you. That's not something that all of us are always good at in terms of a skill. He has a nice approach to the residents and a willingness to learn and help in a pleasant manner and nice attitude. I hope to see him here for a while. I do too. Josh has been a great addition to our team. Normally I would bring that person in and we'd honor them together, but Josh is off today. His regular schedule is to be off on Fridays and Saturdays. So I'm gonna catch him next week. But if you happen to see him beforehand, please thank him. Please tell him you're happy to have him here as part of our group and serving us. And we're gonna recognize him for his efforts. And then the last thing I've got, did you know we have celebrities that live here at Monroe Village? Any of you know that? You didn't, did you? Well, I want to share something with you. So I'm at home the other night, and I'm half watching TV, and I'm half reading, and all of a sudden I hear this voice. It sounded like the voice of God. It was not the voice of God, but it was someone we all know and love. Now, again, I said celebrities. That's not just one, that's multiple. So I need you to really keep your eyes peeled, because one of the celebrities you'll see quite clearly. The other one, I want you to keep your eyes open for. Watch. All right, we gotta watch the commercial first, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, all right, hold on. You don't have to watch the commercial then. Toggle full screen. No. Hold on. Why did it not? Alright, maybe we'll just minimize this. And eliminate that. And pull this back up. There we go. Alright.
It's a day dozens of veterans in New Jersey will never forget. They were honored with members of their community showing their appreciation and saying thank you for their service and sacrifice. Here's our Dawn Timoney from Gloucester County.
The Williamstown and surrounding communities coming out in force to welcome home 92 New Jersey veterans. These American heroes spending the day in Washington, D.C., visiting their respective war memorials, all thanks to the South Jersey Honor Flight in cooperation with Williamstown High School.
It was wonderful! It wasn't any better. They treated us like kids. We saw everything we wanted to see. It was extra special. I'm just blown away.
What did it mean to you?
I got the names wrong.
After all these years. It's been great.
Gretchen Sebas is a teacher here and an Honor Flight board member.
Many of our veterans, especially our Vietnam veterans, never got a welcome home. So that is a big part of what we do here, and the kids take that responsibility very seriously.
The kids, Williamstown High School students, decorating the school in red, white, and blue for the vets, serving them breakfast early this morning, and then cheering them on as they made their way down the high school hallways to their waiting buses. These students say it's important for their generation to say thank you.
It just means something to me because I want to show that I care. I'm glad that they've helped serve this country.
100-year-old World War II Navy veteran Matthew Blaine says it was a trip of a lifetime.
It was excellent. These people, they can't do enough for you. The memorial, that was fascinating. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen it, and I'm overwhelmed.
The Honor Flight also giving these high school students, past and present, a unique opportunity to connect and communicate with veterans.
I love that this is like an event we can all come together, and not even just the veterans, but the kids with the adults.
The South Jersey Honor Flight has been sending veterans to Washington, D.C. since 2008. This is their 22nd trip, honoring and celebrating over 2,000 veterans for the last 16 years. Dawn Timoney, Fox 29 News.
What a great cause and a great night.
So heartwarming.
If they're here, they should stand up.
So our local celebrities, Barry Falk and Larry Gelb. stand up and say hi. You'll be available. The paparazzi will be here. But we feel tremendously honored, to have so many veterans who live here, and I can't even imagine what that experience was like for the two of you and for the fellow veterans that you were with. It had to be really special. It was great to see a report like that and to see a community coming together to honor those who served our country. It's something that, now I'm going to get on a soapbox and say it's something I think that's missing and needs to be done more often. So it was really great, really, really great to see. So with that, we have come to the end of the show. It is now question and answer time. So we'll bring the lights up, we'll bring the microphones around. And for those of you who have, let me see, how can I do this?
Hello?
From current slide. There we go. Now I got it. Hello!
You didn't mention Anthony Jones when you were talking about the team. Anthony Jones, that's not his name?
Anthony's our director of housekeeping. Yeah, he didn't present today, no.
Oh, but you didn't mention his name when you were talking. Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, no, he's on the housekeeping team. That was the maintenance team we were talking about.
Got it.
Gotcha, okay, all right.
Sorry about that.
No worries, all right. Hi, Jill.
Hi. I was wondering if you have any progress on the nurse for AL and clinic?
That has been a struggle unlike I've never seen before professionally. Jill's talking about the Director of Clinical Services role. We are still struggling to find the right person for that role. We have been posting the job. We have done some interviews with unqualified candidates. We have adjusted the pay scale for the job significantly, to be quite candid with you, and we're still struggling. So we are kind of piecemealing it together between Gina helping support quite a bit, myself, as well as the health services team from the Spring Point home office. So it's not what I want, and I'm really surprised, but I will tell you, in that same conversation I mentioned with my friend down in Virginia, that not only did we talk about dining, we also talked about the struggles with nursing and nursing leadership in particular. It's a really challenging environment right now. So I wish I had better news, but unfortunately I don't.
So the memo is a moot point.
The memo from several months ago at this point, yes, was a moot point. Unfortunately, that person rescinded after she accepted. So, not very professional and frustrating. So.
Hello, so I
Hi,
have,
Barb.
I have a quick question. On the maintenance picture, on the screen, you included Roosevelt. He wasn't in the picture?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Roosevelt is part-time in the evening. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, he is the fifth member of the maintenance team. Yes, thank you. Where are we at next? Let's see. Where we got? Good morning. Go ahead. Oh, no, it's not on, Claudine.
I wanted to inquire about what happened to our silverware in the dining room. We now have the cheapest silverware I've ever seen. Thin, and it cuts into your hand.
Okay, I don't know what changes we've made to the silverware. I do know we are trying to get silverware back. So there's napkin amnesty, and if you wrapped silverware in that napkin, it could be silverware and napkin amnesty. When people walk away with silverware, it makes it tricky for us, and we do need to then pull other stuff out of stock that's our backups. That may be what's going on right now. So if you've mistakenly taken silverware home with you, please return it. Thank you. Where are we at next? Yeah, we take all kinds. We got one there, and then we got one Julie in the back, and then I got one in the front.
Hi, my name is Linda Bradley. I live near the security door that goes out into parking lot number 2. I get up early in the morning and I have to take my dog out. Many times that door is unlocked. That security door is not locked.
The door out to the parking lot?
Parking lot, the one that's supposed to be locked. There's a locked door and then there's an open door.
Right,
The one that is supposed to be locked is not locked.
okay.
Some of the reasons why is workers come in here and they prop that door open. And nobody ever looks at it until I see it the next morning that it is not locked. And it
Okay.
has not been locked all night.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, and we will definitely redouble our efforts, because no one should be blocking a door or propping it open. Absolutely, Linda.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, Julie.
Hi. First of all, thank you for that article. Thank you for sending it to me. Secondly, the halls look great. I've been to this other side of the building, and everything's really looking great. I'm looking forward to the front. No buts. I'm looking forward to it. I mentioned this before, and I'm going to mention it again. When maintenance or anybody comes into our apartment and we're at home, I think it would really be appreciated. I would really appreciate it if just leave a card or something, a little note telling us that they were there.
Okay, great. That's a great suggestion.
Because we want to know.
Yep, makes sense.
And thank you for what we're doing for trying to keep the place safe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got Barbara up front, and then we can go back around to the other side.
At the dining room committee, Barb always comes up with something great, And one time, she said, go around the table, say your name, and say something especially nice about the bistro, because, people seem to have different opinions. So here's my opinion about what happened the other day, okay? On Wednesday night, we ate in the bistro, and they had lasagna on the menu. I said, well, I haven't had that for a while, I'll order it. It was delicious.
Great.
After I ate, I went to the ladies' room to wash my hands, etc. And there was the chef, a female. And I said to her, I just have to compliment you. I said, for a frozen meal, I can't believe how delicious it was. Guess what she said to me?
It wasn't frozen.
It was not frozen. I came in earlier this morning and I made it from scratch.
Yep.
I'd like to say thank you to her, okay? I don't know her name, and I'm sorry I don't.
No, and we do a lot of scratch cooking like that, so thank you for recognizing that.
It really was. It was homemade. It was delicious.
Great, wonderful. We're glad you enjoyed. Hi, Anita.
I know I spoke to Ken Peabody about our problem with parking lot 4. Particularly now that the front entrance, you can't get around. We take Ubers, we don't have a car. We have to run after the Uber. If we tell them parking lot 4, there's no sign there that says it's on the other side, and after you turn into the parking lot.
And that's something we certainly can look at, and Anita, you and I have talked about that before, and we're gonna see if there's a way we can duplicate the signage on the other side. But remember, people should be driving one way around. Now, parking lot 4 is the one exception to that, don't get me wrong. But when those signs were installed, the entire roadway around Monroe Village was one way only. That's a recent development that we've allowed two-way back to parking lot 4, and we need to figure out how to get a sign on the other side. Hey, Bernie.
Yeah, I'd like to give a little safety feature. Almost every night, quite constantly, that people approaching their chair at night to sit down at the fireside restaurant, and it probably happens upstairs in the bistro as well, they lose their balance. And yesterday, someone almost fell, and one of the servers grabbed the person and stopped them from falling. When you tell the people when they approach their seat in the dining room with their walker, before they transfer to the chair, to make sure that their wall is locked. Make sure that it's locked. So when they do transfer, it's not gonna move out on them. And when they get up after the meal, to make sure that it still remains locked until they get to a standing position safely. And then they can release and then leave the dining room. They never pay attention to that, and almost every day there's a threat of a fall and falls that occur.
Yep.
And there's no reason for it.
You're right. Important stuff. Good safety information. Thank you, Bernie. Oh, one more. All right, hold on. We're still there. Yeah.
Quick comment. On the, just in addition to Barbara's comment about the lasagna, the chef, I don't know her name either, Shalala or something like that. Where she makes fresh fish cakes. I mean, we had them one night and they were delicious. I said, when are you going to do it again? She said, when it's on the menu. We looked on the menu. She told me, oh, she said, I'm on that night. I said, oh, we'll be there for the fish cakes. She makes everything fresh.
Excellent.
And she really does a great job.
Yep.
So
Yep.
thank you.
She's the
Thank
best
you.
hire we've had in a long
All right,
time.
John.
I have two things actually. Okay, you mentioned about the completion out here. It's proposed that it should be done by next Friday, the 25th. But also the other side, we're doing the sidewalks.
Yes.
Is that going to be done directly after or sometime later? Because I think a lot of residents, including yours truly, would like to have this place opened again, because we need to use those carts, and it's easy to get to those carts when you're right here out front. You got the door right here to put your bags on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want anybody getting hurt, including yours truly.
Yeah, no, the concrete work is tentatively scheduled for the following week, meaning the first week in November, or the end of October, beginning of November, the week after. If we open this by next Friday, which is 1 week from today,
Right.
the week following that is when the concrete work would be done. We would have to temporarily close just the one side of the horseshoe just for the demolition and the reinstallation of the concrete.
Okay, so I guess it would just have to be a little tricky for a resident, unless you would discourage it for a resident to bring their car in the other side of the horseshoe, just to get stuff out of their car and to put it on a cart and then move.
Yes, and that will likely only be like 24 hours where that would be the case.
Okay, the second thing is I don't know, it has been drafty in here, but much hasn't been attributable to the traffic coming in and out of that door. But I've noticed recently that in many places here in this building where you're sitting, there are vents overhead and they're blowing cold air on people. Okay, some of the tables out here when we were playing one game or another, I'm sitting there, or other people are sitting there, and air is coming out from the ceiling and blowing on people. I don't know why this is happening.
Okay.
It happened to me when I was having dinner the other night in the bistro, and it was like right on top of me. I think it follows me around. or
Maybe.
something. I don't know.
Well, I will
Is
offer
something to be
this.
done about it?
So,
I mean,
so
for
you know, a
heaven's
couple things. One, this is a very tricky time of year from a heating and cooling standpoint. So the last couple of days have been quite chilly, and the heat has been, we would think the heat would be on. Now, come tomorrow, going into the beginning of next week, we're gonna need to put the air conditioning back on. And unfortunately, it's not like at home where it's the flip of a switch. So we need to try to sort of balance all of it as we make those changes during what's called the shoulder season between the air conditioning and the heat. So yes, I agree that it felt a little chilly in the hallway here today, but I also understand it's because we haven't fully turned the heat on, because if we do, then we won't have the air conditioning next week. So it's a balancing act.
But don't we have thermostat settings? Because sometimes it is cold.
There is, John.
Yeah, but sometimes it's cold in the building, and those AC things still go on. I mean, if you feel that it's cold in the hallways or something like that, because there's cold in the building, why in the world would the unit be going on and blowing AC?
So
Should that not be happening?
Well, no, it's event. That's the second piece I wanted to finish my answer. Is that in a commercial building, which is what we have, there are certain requirements for air circulation and air movement for safety. Now, if you think about back during COVID and just how important it was that air was circulating through a space, that's part of it too. Any heating and cooling system has ductwork that puts air out, and it has returns that sucks air back. You need to have the turnover of the air regardless of what the heat or the cooling of that air is. And again, in a shoulder season like this, when that air is coming out perhaps at what is room temperature, but not above room temperature, which is what would happen if the heat was on, it feels cold. And I understand that. The other challenge in a commercial space is oftentimes all of your ductwork and all of your vents are from above. Think about it, in your house, in a home, 9 times out of 10, where are those ducts? They're in your floor, right? So you don't feel that air coming down over top of you. So those are some of the challenges of a commercial environment and requirements of HVAC systems and air turnover and whatnot. And I understand that it's frustrating, I get it. And I wish there were some other ways to do it. We've done some things with dampers in certain spaces, John. You know, we've talked about that particularly in the bistro, where we've literally shut vents off. But I can't shut everything off because, again, I have certain requirements and building codes that we need to maintain with respect to circulation and turnover of air in a space in a specific period of time.
That's a place for eating. Food gets food.
That's a place for eating and food gets cold.
Yeah.
And I mean, the requirements I can understand in certain places.
Right.
But first of all, I would have thought that this is a residential community or a residential building, not a commercial building.
It's not.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there I sit corrected, I'm not standing. However, the other issue is if it's in an area where people are eating, you know, their food's gonna get cold, they're gonna be uncomfortable.
Yeah, the challenge, John, is, and you probably know this in your professional career, you can't fight City Hall.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
All right, well, with that, well, we have one more? All right, 2 more, all right, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I often eat in the bistro, and I want to commend the people who work there. I've always gotten a good meal, it's always been a good temperature, they're very kind. If you need something changed, they're very quick to say, I'll get you something else. So I want to say, it's been a very good experience for me.
Thank you. All right. Bringing up the rear, what do you got?
Dorothy,
Yes.
I'd like to compliment Marlon and Matt for the holiday meal, which was very meaningful to me. Brisket was delicious. If they need help with recipes, everybody here will be glad to help. The icing on the cake was the break the fast meal that we got from the bistro. Lox, bagels, cream cheese, capers, tomato, onion. It was delicious, just like Mama used to make.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. All right, and with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your participation. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you all around campus. Thank you.